What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 829 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's your boy KB coming at you solo dolo to get your week started off on the right foot, get it started off on the left foot, and hopefully walking down the road to victory, just like Dallas Goedert's going to keep doing because he's back with the Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk all about the March Madness bracket, everybody. March Madness is here, which means Underground Madness is here, and our bracket challenge is back. And we're going to be doing some fun stuff inside the company walls as well that you'll be able to keep up to date with, that we'll announce pretty soon before the tournament starts. And then we will dive into the World Baseball Classic as Team USA escape the Dominican Republic and are advancing to the WBC Final as they await the winner of Venezuela and Italy on Monday night. We'll talk about that game and how Mason Miller threw ball 4 and Team USA escaped. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. It helps us continue to grow when you follow us, gets more people in our universe, gets us on their radar. So please keep following us on the socials: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're on everything at Underground PHI. Subscribe to the podcast feed, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave a 5-star rating and review. It goes a long way for helping the show continue to grow, gets us in the algorithm, gets us on those podcast charts. And guess what? We don't like listening to the talking head sports talk radio in this town. We all loathe it. Make us a part of your routine. Subscribe on Apple and Spotify. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. And, of course, guys, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of all original 6 shows on the network, from Underground Circuit to Outside the Box, Top Bins, Get in the Hole when both of those shows return. Streamer season, we'll have our Oscars reaction and breakdown episode coming out this week as well with myself and Christian. You don't want to miss out on any of that. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. Leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and smash that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. And as you all know, this show is proudly presented by the City of Vineland, and the City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on their social media pages, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or YouTube. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city, Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast.
Hello, I'm Mayor Anthony Fanucci. Vineland, New Jersey offers both a great business location and an outstanding quality of life. But don't just take my word for it, the experts agree. We're proud to be recognized as a premier food processing and logistics hub, one of New Jersey's most affordable and desirable cities, and one of the best places to retire in the country. Visit vinelandcity.org and see how our resources can work for you. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
We start this episode off in the NFL, talking a little Go Birds, dickhead. Dallas Goedert is back with the Philadelphia Eagles. The long-awaited decision to kicked the tires down the track with his contract, and all of the dead money that would have been involved has come to a close as Dallas Goedert is returning to the Eagles for a 9th season, first reported by Adam Schefter. And then NBC Sports Philadelphia confirmed that, so we all knew here in the backyard that it was a done deal. Dallas Goedert, 1 year, $7 million deal to return to the Eagles, including a $4.25 million bonus, according to Adam Schefter. He turned 31 in January, and he is now the 23rd highest paid tight end in the NFL, which is pretty crazy because he made $10 million last year, so he's taking a pretty big pay cut to come back to the Eagles. But this is why Dallas Goedert is the man, and I'm happy he's back, and this is why we need to appreciate Dallas Goedert and why he is like entering the stratosphere of becoming an all-time Eagle. He didn't have to come back. You know, he probably had other offers out there on the table to go elsewhere, get paid more, and Dallas Goedert chose to work with Howie Roseman, work with Jeffrey Lurie, make sure the Eagles didn't take a $20 million dead cap hit, and he's back with the Eagles on top of that. He could have gone anywhere else. Chose to stay here. Chose to stay with the team that drafted him, that gave him a chance to be in the NFL, that allowed him to win his first Super Bowl. Because remember, Dallas Goedert was not on the first Super Bowl team. He was drafted the year after the Eagles won Super Bowl 52. So to have Dallas Goedert back in the fold is not only important from the on-the-field perspective, like he's one of the best pass-catching tight ends in the NFL, but to have him back for what it means to the culture of the Philadelphia Eagles and what it means like for him in the pantheon of Eagles greats, he's entering that territory of like, I don't want to see Dallas Goedert wear another jersey the rest of his career. You know, he'll probably have another 3, 4, 5 years of elite level play as a pass catcher. I don't want to see him wear another jersey except Eagles midnight green, white, Kelly green, or them beautiful, beautiful blackout uniforms, okay? He's showing his loyalty by taking a contract like this, by working with Howie Roseman like this, and had an all-time season last year, 13 touchdowns, including 2 in the playoff game that they lost to the 49ers. Set a new Eagles franchise record for touchdowns by a tight end in a season, and he's the Eagles' leading postseason receiver, like, in the Eagles' history. Think about it. The Eagles have been around for how long? And Dallas Goedert is the leading postseason receiver with 56 catches, 595 yards, and 5 touchdowns. His 56 catches are the 7th most in NFL history by a tight end in the playoffs, and his 595 yards are 8th most, and his 6 touchdowns are 5th most. Among tight ends with at least 50 career postseason targets with 74.7 catch percentage, his 74.7 catch percentage, is 4th highest all time, only behind Travis Kelce, Keith Jackson, and Jason Witten. That comes from NBC Sports Philadelphia. That's crazy. So, like, obviously the on-field production is a big boost for Dallas Goedert being back with the Philadelphia Eagles for year 9 of his career and in 2026. But again, it just goes to show you, like, he wants to be here. He wants to be a part of what this team is going to bounce back from 2025 and go do, because obviously the sights are set on winning another Super Bowl. Why would they not be with this core intact on the offense, with the young, talented defense that you just added Reek Woolen to? Like, this team is poised to have a bounce-back season, and if things go right, we could be sitting here at this time next year talking about the 2026 Philadelphia Eagles in free agency as the defending Super Bowl champions again, which I would pinch myself because I never saw 1 Super Bowl coming in my lifetime, let alone 2. If we get to 3, you ain't going to be able to tell me shit. And you haven't been able to tell me shit since last year. You weren't able to tell me shit after Super Bowl 52 because the amount of ring pop memes and empty trophy case memes I had to deal with growing up scarred me enough that I will talk my shit about my team being Super Bowl champions. Not once, but twice, okay? You're not going to change my perspective on that. But Dallas Goedert also, the rapport he has with Jalen Hurts on the field cannot be understated enough. Jalen Hurts loves throwing him the football, so that's a huge boost for the Eagles. But what we do need from Dallas Goedert is to have an improved year in the blocking game. Obviously, the Eagles signed Johnny Munt, which I love that signing. Getting a blocking tight end in Big 2026 is a huge boost for this team. But you need to have improvement from Dallas Goedert in the blocking game if Saquon Barkley is going to be successful. If any of the other running backs that the Eagles end up having on this roster are going to be successful, you need Dallas Goedert to have a boosted year in blocking, pass blocking, run blocking, the whole shebang. Because last year left a lot of meat on the bones that left a lot to be desired, and I think it left a good portion of the fan base being like, all right, let's move on from Dallas Goedert. But guess what? We are so lucky. We talk about it all the time with different aspects of our sports teams. But when you look at the tight end position for the Philadelphia Eagles over the last almost 2 decades, we went from Brent Selleck to Zach Ertz to Dallas Goedert. So many teams would kill to have just had one of those guys. But the fact that the Eagles had a lineage of tight end ones to go from Selleck to Ertz to Goddard cannot be understated enough, because genuinely, the tight end position I think is such an underappreciated position by a lot of teams in the NFL, and the Eagles have chosen to invest in it smartly. So the fact that we have Dallas Goedert back again with Devontae Smith, with A.J. Brown, and all the people out there, oh, this makes it easier to trade A.J. Shut the fuck up. How many times do we have to do the song and dance? Oh, the Eagles are going to trade A.J. Brown. The whole report about trading him to the Rams, are we out of our goddamn minds? Why on earth, number one, would Howie Roseman trade A.J. Brown when he is still in his prime, when this team is still trying to win a Super Bowl? Make that make sense. But again, if he were in some hypothetical multiversal way, A.J. Brown gets traded from the Philadelphia Eagles, why? And I mean, why? I'm going to take a page out of Josh Peck's book from Drake and Josh. I repeat things for emphasis. Why would Howie Roseman trade A.J. Brown to arguably the direct competitor that would blockade the Eagles from getting to the Super Bowl in 2026, being the Los Angeles Rams? Why would he do that? There's no logical reason. It's crazy to me that so many people just fall for these reports, man. Like, you got to use your brains. A lot of you don't use your brains. Sometimes I just want to sit you all down and just be like a jack in the box and put a crank to your head. And then boom, out of the jack in the box is your brain just bouncing around on a spring, because you don't use your brains enough to realize there's no logical reason for Howie Roseman to trade A.J. Brown. Not this year, not next year. Just take a time out. Stop it. Get some help. Relax. I can almost guarantee A.J. Brown's going to be on this roster come training camp, week 1 of the season. And when he is, I'm going to be laughing at every single one of you who doubted the fact that A.J. Brown was still going to be a Philadelphia Eagle. I digress. Dallas Goedert being back, huge. Loved getting that announcement today. Seeing the overarching kind of just excitement that Dallas Goedert was going to be back was also really cool. That a lot of people kind of just understand how valuable he is to this organization and what it means for him to be back. Does that still detract the Eagles from potentially drafting a tight end this year? I don't know, especially because they re-signed Grant Calcaterra. You have Johnny Munt. Like, I think Dallas Goedert being back is such a huge win for being able to kind of kick drafting a tight end down the track a little bit longer too. And it saves the Eagles $20 million in dead cap. That's a huge thing for a cap savant like Howie Roseman. Absolutely loved the Schefter tweet coming through that, he's back. And I think he's just such an important and integral part of this offense. And I think we should all be stoked that Dallas Goedert is back, because I, for one, am stoked that Dallas Goedert is back. We'll talk some more NFL and Eagles moves in a moment, but to celebrate Dallas Goedert being back, there's no better way to do it than with our friends at Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com, use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Delaware, Pittsburgh, and Maryland areas. You can also find Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores, convenience stores, and grocery stores in those markets. Just go to kenwoodbeer.com and use that Kenny Finder to see who's got it available in your area. Must be 21 or older to do so. And as always, guys, please celebrate and drink responsibly. And cheers to Dallas Goedert being back with the Philadelphia Eagles. Some other Eagles news since we last recorded. I want to pull up the Eagles free agency tracker here. Here we go. Obviously, we talked about Reek Woolen. We talked about some of the other guys. The other big sneaky under the radar signing. And I want to pull up how to pronounce his name so I get it correctly. Very fun edge rusher signing here for the Philadelphia Eagles. Arnold Ebiketie is coming over from the Atlanta Falcons to the Philadelphia Eagles in free agency, $7.3 million deal and a one-year deal. Played college football at Temple and Penn State, so he knows a little thing or two about playing at Lincoln Financial Field, which I love. I have watched so much just film tweeted about this guy from the moment it was announced that he was signing with the Eagles that I am just overjoyed with this signing. This is such a Vic Fangio guy. I think it is trending in such a positive way for the doctor, as he likes to be called, to be just a huge presence on the Eagles' defensive line as an edge rusher. Second-round pick by the Falcons in 2022, 6'2", 250 pounds. In his 4-year career, he's got 16.5 sacks, 130 QB pressures. He's posted at least 29 QB pressures in each of his first 4 NFL seasons. As a rookie, he was tied for 4th among all first-year edge rushers with 35 QB pressures, according to Next Gen Stats. And of his 130 QB pressures in his career, 42 of them have come within 2.5 seconds of the snap of the ball. Absolutely love it. I love his story. He was born in Cameroon. He and his family emigrated to the United States when he was 13, and they settled in Silver Spring, Maryland. And then when he was at Penn State, he led Penn State with 18 tackles for loss to go with 9.5 sacks, 62 tackles, and 2 forced fumbles in 2021. And he was a second-team All-America selection and a first-team All-Big Ten honoree. Dude's an absolute force. And, I mean, you want to talk about, like, a perfect, like, replacement for Jalen Phillips leaving to get him on a deal that is, max value $7.3 million. It includes $4.3 million guaranteed. Back-to-back 6-sack campaigns in 2023-2024. Just had 2 sacks this year, but the Atlanta Falcons were kind of cheeks. So to have him out there with our guy, Jalix Hunt, the man, and our guy, Nolan Smith, the dice man, to have those 3 as some edge rushers on this team gives a lot of versatility, gives a lot of twitch and fun on that edge for this Eagles team. And I think Big Arnie is going to fit in perfectly with the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm very excited about this sign. This probably behind Reek Woolen is my number 2 favorite new Philadelphia Eagle coming into the fold. Not including Dallas Goedert, not including Braden Mann, not including Grant Calcaterra. I think right now I'd rank it Reek Woolen, Big Arnold, and then Johnny Munt with a blocking tight end coming into the fold. The Eagles have also signed Jonathan Jones. I forget if we talked about this on Thursday's episode. Jonathan Jones coming in from the Washington Commanders, spent a majority of his career with the New England Patriots with Mike Pellegrino, our new secondary coach. He started 7 games with Washington. Didn't really fit in there, in my opinion. But to have him there, some depth and flexibility behind the big three of Quignon Amobe, Cooper DeJean, and Reek Woolen is nice. You know, he's a smaller corner. He's 32 years old. He played against the Eagles in Super Bowl 52, which is crazy. But to have a veteran there that kind of knows Pellegrino's way of doing things is a big boost for this team as well. I think for just like the veteranship of some new coaches coming in. Spent 9 years of his career with the Patriots before joining Washington last year. So he knows the Pellegrino system, and I think it's only going to help Reek Woolen and Quignon and Cooper DeJean kind of continue to improve along the way. Another NFL free agency signing that is near and dear to us and close to the program, our guy Isaiah Pacheco signed with the Detroit Lions. I love that signing for Pop. He's going to be in a tandem with Jahmyr Gibbs, and I think this is an awesome signing for him. You know, 1-year deal. I'm pretty sure was the contract. Let me double check that. Yeah, he's signing a 1-year kind of vet minimum 1-year $1.8 million deal with the Lions. I think it's a perfect tandem, especially after they traded David Montgomery, the Lions did, to the Texans, which was news to me when I found out that they signed Pop. I was like, whoa. But Pop going to Detroit is a really cool move for them, and I think he's a perfect counterbalance to Jahmyr Gibbs. So I'm excited for Pop, excited that I can really, really, really root against the Chiefs full send now. And the only time I'll be not rooting for Pop is when the Eagles and Lions play. Which, did the Eagles and Lions play this year? I don't think they do because we played them last year. Eagles 2026 schedule. Yeah, we do not play the Lions this year. We only play the Bears from the NFC North. So I can root for Pop all year long unless the Eagles end up playing the Lions in the playoffs. Then it's go Birds all day, every day like it always has been. But congrats to Pop. Happy for him. Absolutely deserved. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with a new opportunity in a new city. And that is now both Vineland High School graduates. Our guy Jamil Demby and Isaiah Pacheco have now spent time with the Detroit Lions in their careers, which is pretty sick. So shout out to Pop. He's going to look cool. His first time in his career, he's not wearing red, too. He's wearing blue for the first time. He's going to look pretty sweet in those Lions unis. But yeah, anything NFL. Oh, the other big news that I was pretty bummed about, because you all know we talked about it on the show. I wanted Darnell Mooney here. He ends up signing with the Giants. Coward. Fraud. I was pretty bummed about that, but it made sense. Apparently the Eagles were in the mix, so either Howie or somebody is listening to the show. But that was a bummer to see that he signed with the New York Giants. Who was the other receiver that signed this week too? There's somebody else, unless I'm just misremembering. Let me pull up the wide receiver page here on SpoTrack. Wide receiver. Khalif Raymond went to the Bears. John Mechie went to the Panthers. Interesting. Laquan Treadwell still in the league. Going back to the Colts. Year 11. Van Jefferson's interesting. Olamide Zaccheaus is going back to the Falcons. Van Jefferson's going to Washington. Actually, these are all the signed players. Zaccheaus going back to the Falcons is a bummer. Tutu Atwell is going to the Dolphins. That was one of the other ones that was announced. Who are the available wide receivers now? Tyreek Hill, no. Stephon Diggs, no. Christian Kirk, maybe. I saw a bunch of people talking about Deebo Samuel and the Eagles. What are we talking about? That man is 30 years old, and he is thicker than a Snicker. What are we talking about? We do not need Deebo Samuel on this team. I've seen the Jawan Jennings. Jawan Jennings is going to end up on a team that needs a wide receiver 2 way more than the Philadelphia Eagles need him as a wide receiver 3. But he's definitely not going back to San Francisco now because they signed Mike Evans. DeAndre Hopkins is still interesting. I wouldn't hate it. Noah Brown, I'm kind of like fading on. They still haven't formally announced Jahan Dotson to the Falcons. That's interesting. I mean, like, is Sky Moore somebody that the Eagles would go after? Coming off of his rookie contract. What are his stats? I mean, I know he has moved on from. Oh, is he with the Packers now? Yeah, he's going to the Packers. Interesting. Okay, so he signed. Spotrek didn't have that updated. Apologies there. Who else could be in the mix? Gabe Davis is still out there. Gabe Davis is still, he was one of the top 3 that I wanted. Gabe Davis might be a move. Is he still a free agent? Looks to be. I mean, in 6 games with the Bills last year when he went back to Buffalo, he like almost did half of his production that he did in 10 games with Jacksonville. I would take Gabe Davis on a 1-year deal. He's still only 26 years old, man. I think Gabe Davis would be fun. Kind of utilize him in the slot. You can put him outside a little bit if you wanted to. He's an interesting name that I'm moving more and more up my list of wanting to bring him into Philadelphia. Who else? If Hollywood Brown could stay healthy, I would entertain it. But that's the thing. He can never stay healthy. Did he go back to the Chiefs? Or is he a free agent? What is the deal with Hollywood Brown? Yeah, he's still a free agent. Okay. Yeah, if he could stay healthy, I would consider it just as like a slot receiver, but like dude can never stay healthy. 2024, he only played in 2 games. Played in 14 games in 2023, 12 in 2022. Started 6 games this year for the Chiefs. Played in all 16. Maybe Hollywood is a move. Maybe. I don't know. Does he have any things that would rebuke Howie Roseman from wanting to sign him? I don't know. Huh. Interesting. I think Gabe Davis is the move. If the Eagles sign a wide receiver in free agency to be wide receiver 3, it's Gabe Davis. That would be my take. Give me Gabe Davis. I'd be happy. But yeah, NFL free agency kind of in that weird lull now. A lot of guys have signed, but there's still some big names out there. We'll see how it continues to kind of trek along and push forward. But we'll see. We shall see. But moving from the gridiron to the hardwood. March Madness, baby. Underground Madness is back. We are back in full swing. One of our favorite times of the year here at this company, March Madness. The bracket is live. Selection Sunday went down in the link. It'll be linked in the description, and we'll be blasting it out on the socials the next few days to join our bracket challenge. It's free to join. After some mishaps last year, just on our part, on some other people's part, we will be locking the bracket challenge at the moment the first game tips off. That will be happening. We had some shenanigans last year where people were joining during the championship game trying to claim our prize. So yeah, that will not be happening moving forward. And you learn from your mistakes, everyone. So that's where we are with that. But the bracket challenge will be back, the annual Underground Madness bracket challenge. Plus, we're going to be doing a fun thing inside the company. I'm sending the all hands email out to everyone by the time you guys are listening to this. We are going to do, in a similar vein to what Barstool Sports does with their Bracket Busters challenge that they do every year, we will be doing some sort of draft or pick 'em for all of the 9 through 16 seeded teams. Each person at our company will pick a team, and then whoever's team gets the furthest ends up winning the bracket busting competition. And then I was talking with resident March Madness junkie Stephen McAvoy today as he is over in Ireland celebrating his honeymoon with his lovely wife. So he will not be here for the first weekend of the tournament, unfortunately. But we are potentially doing an in-company fantasy draft as well, where depending on the total number of players in our draft, we're going to draft teams of X amount of teams, and depending on their seed, a win equals their seed number. And by the end, we see who gets the most, advances the furthest. I'm very excited about that, very intrigued about that. That's going to be a ton of fun. We're expanding upon our March Madness coverage, but the bracket is live. V's up, everyone. If you know me, you know I am a Villanova Wildcats men's basketball fan, and Nova Nation is back in the NCAA tournament, baby. V for Villanova, V for victory. Let's go. Villanova's an 8 seed in the West region. They will be playing Utah State at 4 p.m. on Friday, 4:10 p.m. on Friday. You know where to find me on Friday. I will be locked in. But looking at the bracket here, your 1 seeds, Duke, Arizona, Michigan, and Florida, the defending champions. Your 16 seeds, Siena, Long Island, and then you have your first 4 in Lehigh, representing PA. Lehigh will take on Prairie View A&M in the first 4 in matchup, and then Howard and UMBC, the tournament darling. We remember the last time UMBC was a 16 seed and they took down Virginia as a 1 seed. They are in the Midwest play-in as 16 seeds. Your 11 seed play-ins, Texas and NC State, 2 elite logos in the throwback department. And then in the Midwest, Miami, Ohio, after their darling Cinderella season of undefeatedness came to a close, they are in the play-in as an 11 seed against SMU in the Midwest region as well. The 2 seeds for this tournament, UConn is in the East, Purdue in the West, Iowa State in the Midwest, and Houston in the South. Can Houston finally get it done this year? That is the question everyone is asking. Your 3 seeds in the East, it will be Michigan State, and your 3 seed in the West is Gonzaga. Your 3 seed in the South is Illinois, taking on Penn. And in the Midwest, it is Virginia. and they will be playing Wright State. So your 1 seed matchups: Duke versus Siena. Long Island, the 16 seed, takes on Arizona. Michigan will play the winner of UMBC and Howard. And then the South region, it's Florida and the winner of Lehigh and Prairie View A&M. Houston plays Idaho in the 2:15. Iowa State plays Tennessee State. Purdue plays Queens, North Carolina. UConn will be playing Furman, one of the best mascot colleges in the country, the Furman Paladins. Your 3 seeds, like I mentioned, it's Gonzaga versus Kennesaw State, Michigan State versus North Dakota State, Illinois versus Penn, and Virginia versus Wright State. Your 4 versus 13 in the Midwest, it's Alabama and Hofstra. Nebraska versus Troy in the South. In the East, it is Kansas and Cal Baptist. And in the West, it is Arkansas and Hawaii. In the 5 versus 12 matchup in the East, it is St. John's and Northern Iowa, Wisconsin and High Point in the West. The Midwest, it is Texas Tech and Akron. And in the South, it is Vanderbilt and McNeese State. The 6 versus 11, Louisville versus South Florida in the East. BYU in the West will take on the winner of NC State and Texas. The Midwest 6 versus 11 is Tennessee versus the winner of Miami, Ohio, SMU. And then in the South, it is North Carolina versus VCU. And then moving to the 7 versus 10. In the East, it's UCLA versus UCF. UCF back in the dance for the first time in a long time. In the West, it is Miami versus Missouri. That's Miami, Florida versus Missouri. Kentucky versus Santa Clara in the Midwest. And St. Mary's versus Texas A&M in the South. And then everyone's favorites, the coin flip games. The 8 versus 9. It's Ohio State versus TCU in the East. Villanova versus Utah State in the West. Georgia versus St. Louis in the Midwest. And Clemson versus Iowa in the South. The East is the region of death. You have Duke. You have Ohio State, who got hot in the Big Ten tournament. You have St. John's as a 5 seed. You have Kansas as a 4 seed. Louisville as a 6 seed. Michigan State as a 3 seed. UCLA as a 7 seed. And UConn as a 2 seed. That is the whoever comes out of the East region earned their keep, because that is just the region of death. That is brutal across the board. No matter how you slice and dice it. Duke is the 1. UConn as the 2. Michigan State as the 3. Kansas as the 4. St. John's as a 5. Louisville is a 6. UCLA is a 7. Ohio State, TCU is your 8, 9. That is brutal. Brutal. I mean, you look at the West region. You have Arizona, Purdue, Gonzaga is the 3. The 4 is Arkansas. Wisconsin's a 5. You've got BYU as a 6. You've got, where's the 7 seed? It's Miami is the 7 seed. Villanova's the 8 seed. Utah State's a 9 seed. So it's like there's some significant drop-off in the West. You go to the Midwest. It's Michigan. It's Iowa State. It's Virginia. You've got Alabama. You've got Texas Tech. You've got Tennessee. You've got Kentucky. You've got Georgia, St. Louis, and then kind of starts dropping off a little bit. Then you go to the South. It's Florida, the defending champs. You've got Houston, who's always a darling every year as one of the top seeds. Everyone wants to see Houston finally get over the top. Illinois, Nebraska, Vanderbilt, North Carolina, St. Mary's, Clemson, Iowa. That is going to be a disgusting game. Texas A&M, VCU, McNeese. Nothing compares to that East region. That East region is nuclear. Like, it is going to be Rocky 4 after Rocky 4 after Rocky 4 fight. It's Rocky versus Drago every single step of the way until two Dragos run into each other. You've just got two high-powered fighting machines just going blow for blow with each other. I like where Villanova landed. You know, Wisconsin's going to be an interesting one if they end up meeting down the line, which would be, the Sweet 16. If Villanova can pull the upset on fellow Wildcats in Arizona. But I like getting Arizona over Michigan, over Florida. You know, Duke is obviously a little shorthanded with some injuries, but staying out of that region is a huge win for Villanova. It's going to be a fascinating March Madness. Like, just seeing the bracket now, this is really the first time I've had it in front of me since the bracket came out, and I am just astonished. I wonder what people on Twitter are saying about the bracket here. March Madness. Let's take a look and see what the people are saying. People are picking Kansas in this economy? No way. Yeah, let's see. USA Today, toughest roads to the championship. Yeah, Duke certainly has the toughest road to the Final Four. No duh. Arizona as number 2. Florida is number 3. Yeah, Michigan got the easiest bracket for sure as one of the 1 seeds. Yeah, Michigan and Florida are probably like the 2 1 seeds that will advance the furthest based on who they have in each of their regions. It is going to be so fun. I love this time of year. It always gets me juiced up. We'll be doing live streams. Don't you worry about it, whether it be Thursday or Friday night, Saturday, maybe even Sunday. But these first 4 days are always electric. KB Unders is going to come back. We're betting all the live unders again, just like we did last year. We get a gauge on the first couple games and see how things go, and then it's like, all right, here we go. Nobody's scoring in that second half. But we're pumped. We will have all of the rules and regs for Underground Madness 2026 on our socials very, very soon. Obviously, before everything kicks off, our bracket challenge will be live by the time you guys are listening to this. I'll hopefully have it linked in the description of this episode. That way you can join. But it will be locked by the time the first game tips off on Thursday. So nobody can join after the bracket challenge starts. We just learn from our mistakes from last year and we keep it pushing. But that'll be the case moving forward. And then I think this year, prize winner, this beautiful, beautiful company on my head right now, 47, you guys will be getting hooked up with some stuff from our friends from 47. And no better way to talk about our friends at 47 than right now. Perfect, seamless ad read. 47, the leaders in the apparel and lifestyle brand for your favorite sports leagues, whether it be college, whether it be the NHL. I got the NHL Shield hat on right now. The NFL, NBA, MLB, NASCAR, soccer with MLS, Premier League. They've got everything you can imagine. And genuinely, I'm on 47's website every day. If you were down here in the studio, you would see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 11, including the one on my head. 47 hats just in front of me in my vicinity. And then on my table to the side, there's even more because I genuinely love 47. I'm a hitch style fiend. The rope hitch style as well, I'm a big fan of. I'm rocking 47 every day of the week. Use our link in the description to shop with 47. Check out all of their new collegiate capsules. They just dropped a brand new lookbook on their website for the tournament. Pulling it up right here to give a gander for the people. The Selection Sunday, you can celebrate the styles for all of the teams in the tournament right now. Use our link in the description to shop with 47 and get free shipping on all orders when you join the 47 family. It is their version of a rewards program. You earn points for every purchase you make, and then those points go towards free things. And I don't know about you, but if it's free, it's for me. So use our link in the description, shop with 47, and get free shipping on all orders when you join the 47 family. And we thank 47 for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia and the unofficial official headwear partner of Underground Industries. Moving on from March Madness, which I'm so excited about. I can't believe it's already that time of year. I'm so pumped. I can't wait for the streams. I can't wait for KB Unders. I can't wait for all of it. I can't wait for that first music to hit. Oh, that's going to be so awesome. It's going to be so great. Oh, Thursday cannot get here soon enough. But moving on to the World Baseball Classic and our WBC talk here, brought to you by our friends over at Bino. Guys, Bino is the leaders. They're the leaders in the next big tabletop game industry. It's paper football meets foosball. You bring that to your tailgates. You bring that to your parties. You break it out in the man cave, the she shed, whatever it may be. You break out the Bino board, you're going to be the talk of your event. Like I said, it's paper football meets foosball for the next big tabletop flicking experience. They've got their World Collection now open for pre-orders with every country for the World Cup. And on top of that, Bino's going on tour. There are going to be tour stops in damn near every city. I am so pumped about this, okay? There's going to be tournaments happening across the country all summer long. I want to pull this up here because I want you all to know we will 1,000% be at the tournament in Philadelphia when those dates are announced. They are going to be in Boston, in Denver, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Chicago, Atlanta, Indianapolis, and Salt Lake City. This feels like a PLL tour, but no, it's the Bino tour, okay? It's going to be an absolute blast. We will be at that Philadelphia event like no other. Bino's the best. Use our link in the description. That way Bino knows you're coming from us. Shop all of the collections that they have for the World Cup tournament. The Philadelphia tournament is going to be April 25th. Location to be determined. April 25th, they'll be in Philadelphia. We will be there. Okay, we're going to make it known. You will see Underground Sports Philadelphia at the Bino event in Philadelphia, the Brotherly Major Tournament. Very excited for this. Use our link in the description to shop with our friends at Bino. That way they know you're coming from us. And when you go to checkout, use code BinoBennett62, and you get 10% off your entire order from our friends at Bino. Again, that's code BinoBennett62 at checkout to get 10% off your entire order when you use our link in the description to shop with our friends at Bino. And we thank Bino for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. The World Baseball Classic. Team USA escape a nail biter against the Dominican Republic. Junior Caminero hit an absolute tank shot to give the Dominican Republic a 1-0 lead in the second inning. And then along came Team USA. Gunnar Henderson in the fourth inning off Luis Severino, home run. Also in the fourth inning, Roman Anthony off old pal Gregory Soto to essentially score the game-winning run. No more runs were scored after the fourth inning. Dominican Republic made it interesting. They had a multitude of opportunities to score. It was high intensity. It was great pitching. Luis Severino was awesome for the Dominican Republic. 3 1/3, 5 hits, just the 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. Paul Skeens did his thing for Team USA, got the win, 4 1/3, 6 hits, 1 run on the Caminero home run, just 2 strikeouts. But Paul Skeens did his thing, great starting pitching duel. Tyler Rogers got the hold for Team USA, 2/3 of an inning to escape there. Gregory Soto caught the loss. He only pitched 1/3 of an inning, gave up that home run to Roman Anthony, and that was it for him. But Mason Miller came in to seal the deal, and Team USA got lucky because there was a number of calls for both teams that it was just like, what are we doing? What are we doing, umps? The pitch locations on a lot of these situations there were not ideal. And Team USA got gifted a nice little strike 3 from Mason Miller to end the game, and it's just unfortunate. Obviously, I want to see Team USA win. I want to see them go on to win the World Baseball Classic, but in a game like that like was shaping up to be all-time, and it still will be an all-time game, but we're going to remember that the final pitch of the game was ball 4, and it just had everyone up in a tizzy calling for why isn't ABS implemented in the World Baseball Classic? Well, it's because it was not in Major League Baseball yet by the time this World Baseball Classic got underway. It will be in the next World Baseball Classic, but Team USA got lucky. The winning run, or the tying run, was 90 feet away, and it was just overall, it was just nice to see Bryce Harper get a double. It was nice to see Bryce Harper come up clutch and get a nice little double, nice little knock in this World Baseball Classic. He's now hitting 167. Yes, I said 167. Hopefully this is a sign of things to come for Bryce and, starts turning the bat on the ball a little bit. Kyle Schwarber went 1 for 2 in this game. He's hitting 364 this World Baseball Classic, which is very nice. But yeah, Team USA now awaits the winner of Venezuela and Italy. And if Italy find a way to advance with Michael Lorenzen on the mound, and it's Italy versus Team USA, it's Aaron Nola on the mound for Team Italy. Who helped Team USA punch their ticket through out of the group stage because of his performance against Team Mexico on the mound. But that's going to be an awesome game. Venezuela 3 years ago was like my dark horse to win the entire tournament. And now they're back at it with a chance to advance, playing against the undefeated Italians, which is good for the sport to see Italy undefeated. It's good for world baseball. It's good for the eventual hopefully seeing Major League players in the Olympics in 2028. Seeing a team like Italy go undefeated to this point, they're 1 win away from the final. Everyone's talking about, it's just a bunch of guys that didn't make Team USA's roster. So what? It's good for Italian baseball that you're seeing these guys advance through and playing on the big stage, and that only makes world baseball better. It's the World Baseball Classic. It's not, a 4-team race where it's Team USA and Japan and the Dominican Republic and, insert one final country here, whether it's Puerto Rico, Venezuela, what have you. To see Italy at this stage right now is really, really cool. And it's only going to make Italian baseball that much better moving forward. And Francisco Cervelli has invested a lot of his time and effort into making Italian baseball good and a sport that he wants the Italian people to follow along with, and that's exactly what they're at right now. They're 1 win away from going to the World Baseball Classic final for the first time in their country's history. And, they're going up against a tough Venezuela team. They've got a loaded lineup, obviously led by Ronald Acuna Jr., but it's going to be an awesome, awesome game. And it's hopefully going to go down that, we have 2 really good semifinal games. Team USA versus Dominican Republic, that was a great game. Hopefully Venezuela and Italy is just as good. And we move forward, and we're just rocking and rolling with, a really, really good final. Whether it's USA versus Italy or Venezuela, it's going to be an awesome game because those 2 teams are loaded with talent. Team USA is loaded with talent, and it's only going to make for a grand final game here on the big stage, which will be, when is that final? On the 17th, so it's in 2 days. So by the time you guys are listening, it's one day. It'll be on Tuesday, 8 o'clock on Tuesday night, USA versus Venezuela or Italy for the final. Who is pitching for Venezuela and Italy? Do we know yet? So it's Michael Lorenzen, which we knew, and then Keter Montero from the Detroit Tigers will be pitching for Venezuela. I mean, you look at the Venezuelan roster, like Wilyer Abreu, Ronald Acuna Jr., Luis Ariz, Jackson Chourio, William and Wilson Contreras, Mikel Garcia from the Royals, who's really good, Salvador Perez, Javier Sanoa, Eugenio Suarez, Gleyber Torres, Ezequiel Tovar. They've got a loaded roster. Andres Jimenez. It's just a matter of, can Venezuela's pitchers control the game enough against Italy's hitters to help them advance, and can, Venezuela's lineup go toe-to-toe with Michael Lorenzen and the Italian bullpen. It's going to be an awesome game. I'm pumped for it. 8 o'clock, Monday night, Italy, Venezuela for a trip to the World Baseball Classic final. For a chance to play against Team USA. It's going to be fun. I'm excited for it. This is one of the best times of the year for sports. Baseball is going on right now with the World Baseball Classic. March Madness will be here this coming weekend. We've got NFL free agency going on. NBA and NHL are going on. Like, it's a beautiful, beautiful time to be a sports fan, and it's only gonna get better. That is all I've got for you guys on this one. Make sure you're following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We're on every social platform. Be sure to follow us. It helps the show continue to grow. Follow us Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're on all of it. Follow us. Subscribe to the pod. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. It helps the show continue to grow. It helps us reach new audiences. Turn down your radios and turn up Underground Sports Philadelphia. We're talking every team on this show when it warrants it, which is more often than not. And we're obviously talking March Madness, all tournament. We're talking World Baseball Classic. This is the place to come for your Philly sports talk. Subscribe on Apple and Spotify, and subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week. Clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It's all on our YouTube channel. We're at 1,260 subscribers. Some cheeky bastard unsubscribed. Keep subscribing. Even if we have other episodes of shows on other channels that we're collaborating with, subscribe to this channel. It helps the show. It helps us all here at the network continue to grow, and helps us push to achieve the ultimate goal of this being our full-time careers. So please subscribe, leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. We're at 1,260 subscribers. Can we get to 1,300 before March Madness kicks off? Before Thursday, before the first ball is tipped, can we make it happen? That's up to you. youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. And as you all know, this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. And whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process. And their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. A big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. This has been episode number 829 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, recording this on Sunday. Happy birthday, happy 30th birthday to my sister Sarah, the manager of the talent, as we like to call her around here. Welcome to the 30 Club. Your AARP card is in the mail. But this has been episode number 829 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. I will catch you all again on Thursday, right before the tournament tips off. It's the most wonderful time of the year, everybody. But until then, we'll talk about whatever the hell pops up on the timeline regarding our favorite teams, March Madness. We'll talk World Baseball Classic Final. But until then, I'm getting the heck up out of here, and I'm signing off. Peace.